Not much will match last weekend's celebrations. Promotion secured in the sunshine at home park. But to secure the title, that wouldn't be too bad, would it? Hi everyone, I'm your host Richard Mofer, and first and foremost, I hope you've all recovered from last weekend. As you know, Niall Ennis's goal sent this place absolutely crazy because it secured Argyle's promotion to the Championship for the first time in 13 years. Now today, Argyle can secure the League One title. All they need to do is beat Port Vale at Port Vale, or better Ipswich Town's result this afternoon. Now, as you can see behind me in front of the Devonport end, we'll have a few thousand fans there, as well as you guys watching on Argyle TV all around the world. Now, if you've not got your match pass yet, what are you waiting for? Head to pafc.co.uk to secure your match pass and potentially watch a bit of history unfold before your eyes today. Again, head to Argyle's website to secure your match pass. Now, I'm pleased to be joined by former Argyle and Port Vale defender, Brian McGlinchey. Brian, great to have you with us. Another big day for Argyle today, isn't it?
Yes, it certainly is. It's like you can't get any bigger days than this, to be honest. The chance of winning a trophy is few and far between in your career, to be honest. And these players have done unbelievable this year. And to just go one more 90 minutes, and hopefully we'll get the trophy.
I mean, we all know how important promotion is, of course, but to win a trophy, not something that comes around very often, of course. How important would that be for the side going forward?
They deserve it, to be honest. They've been at the top of the table for the majority of the season. There's been a lot of doubters, people doubting what Plymouth can do or Argyle can do this year, and for me, they've been unbelievable. They've had challenges, they've come back from challenges. They're a joy to watch, and hopefully they can get over the line today.
Fantastic. Well, we'll hear from manager Stephen Schumacher very shortly, but first, the team news. Fantastic. Well, while the team news comes up, as we know, there's one change this afternoon. Jordan Houghton comes in for Matt Butcher, of course. As the team news comes up, what are your thoughts on their games?
Yeah, to me, he's probably gone for a similar lineup as the last couple of games, to be honest. It's tried and trusted, isn't it? For me, Ennis has been a revelation since he's come back into the side. Obviously, his goal at the the goal the last couple of games, has been fantastic. The red kick the other week as well.
Fantastic.
Then the finish, into the bottom corner last week as well. So yeah, he's been exceptional. But you're right. It's been a sort of tried and trusted lineup to be honest. Back three have been unbelievable all year. Really, Scar for me, he's just been a revelation since he's come to the club. And really strong side there.
Fantastic. So we'll go through the team news then. So you've got Burton in goal, you've got Gillespie, Wilson, Scar at the back. Houghton comes in midfield. You've got Joe Edwards, Danny Mayer, Barley, Mumba across the midfield with Aaron Randall as well. And you've got Wright and Ennis up front. On the bench, you've got Parks, got Longwyke, Grant, Finazaz, Matete, Hardy and Sam Cosgrove. So a strong lineup from Argyle today and one that will hopefully bring back the title. So we've spoken about we spoke about Nine Ennis up front as well. I mean, how important would the midfield battle be this afternoon?
Well, a lot of games are won and lost in there, to be honest. I think Randall come back in. He looks so composed on the ball. The last couple of games at home, he's been fantastic. Sees a forward pass as well. Not many midfielders. A lot of midfielders play square and backwards, but he likes to play a forward pass as well. So since he's come back in, he's made a difference. Mm-hmm. He's been like a bit of a new signing, been out for a month or so. So yeah, and a young lad as well coming through the ranks. It's refreshing for the club as well. So, but to be honest, the whole 11, the whole squad's done. They've all played their part this year. The 11 have got the nod today, and we will use the bench today, 100%. And for me, it's for me, I'm quite confident, to be honest. I think it's going to be a bit of a formality, to be honest. I think Port Vale, they've got nothing to play for. We've got that motivation to win a trophy, so I'm very confident stood here.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, the level of consistency from Argyle has been incredible this season, hasn't it? A lot of that has been down to captain Joe Edwards. How impressive have you been with him going up and down that right flank this season?
Well, he's a true captain, isn't he? He's a leader. He leads by example. He gets his fair share of goals as well over the time he's been at the club. I could see him going on to be some sort of coaching role. I'm not ending his football career here, but I could see him being here as a bit of a coach as well. A real, young players looking up to him, to be honest. He's a true captain, and it'd be a great sight to see him lift this trophy today.
And we spoke about the one change today with Houghton coming in today. Yeah. What do you think they're thinking behind that?
I don't think Butcher's in the squad, so maybe Butcher's got a bit of a knock, or obviously we don't know the reasons. Maybe the Schumacher will be able to give us a bit of insight later on. But Houghton's really good player. Obviously, good pedigree coming from Chelsea, Milton Keynes Dons. So he's played a real big part the last couple of seasons as well. So him and Randall in there, I've got no concerns, to be honest.
Fantastic. And as for our opponents, Port Vale today, we should be seeing their team come up very shortly. So we've got Stone in goal. It's Donnelly, Smith, Benning and Worrell. We've got Condon, Ojo and Plant. And then we've got Wilson, Massey and Butterworth up front. So obviously, as a former Port Vale player yourself, do you know much about this side and where will their threats be today?
Well, the first thing I remember about Port Vale, the pitch is massive. It's probably one of the biggest pitches in the country, to be honest. So for me, that will suit Argyle. That's the fact that Argyle like to keep the ball moving. They like to use the width with Mumba as well. So for me, that will definitely suit Argyle. Port Vale haven't performed this year. They've obviously, Darragh Clark, he's left, and they've got an interim manager now, so Crosby. So reading his comments, he actually used the words, he wants to stop Argyle winning the league. So let's hope that's not going to be the case, So he'll want to have that motivation for his own. Maybe he wants the job himself, But they've got Wilson, who scored the 2 goals down here.
Yes, indeed.
So they're the only two sides have beat us at home park this year. So yeah, they're decent players. Mm-hmm. Worrell in the middle of the park, he's an experienced pro. But for me, our starting 11, we're a better side, and I think if we can play anything near what we're capable of, I'm fairly confident that we'll get the result.
It's interesting you mentioned James Wilson because he's actually not scored since then, so he might have a point to prove then as well. I mean, in terms of the other threats in the side, so you've got James Wilson, where else would that come from?
Well, to be fair, they've got a bit of experience across the park, but I don't think they've demonstrated nowhere near the sort of maybe expectations of what Port Vale wanted this year. So yeah, they've got a bit of the litter with lots of experienced players, but as I say, I don't think there's anyone that really stands out that will really threat us. I think they've got a big player missing for them, the centre forward, number 9. The name escapes me at the moment, but he's missing it. He's out injured. So, but for me, they're not a threat in a sense. But on their day, they're professional footballers, and they could cause an upset.
Mm-hmm. Ellis Harrison, who's out today, but as we know, Argyle, Port Vale are one of the only sides to beat Argyle this season. You mentioned a new manager, or the caretaker manager, coming in and doing the job, and with Port Vale securing safety last weekend. How important would that be for them? Do you think they'll have paved the shackles off, or will they be on the beach?
Yeah, it's a difficult one to call. We'll probably know after the first 10-15 minutes of the game where their heads are. As I said, I listened to Crosby before coming here today, and he seemed pretty motivated. He wanted his team to play with desire, enthusiasm, match Argyle's sort of passion and desire. So, yeah, the expectation from their sort of coaching staff will be to really spoil the party as such. But it's difficult to call. They could play really relaxed and it could go in their favour, or they could be too relaxed and Argyle may have the momentum, that motivation, that desire to go that extra yard. So, I'll tell you after 10-15 minutes.
That's fantastic. So, listen, let's hear from the manager, Stephen Schumacher, then. Of course, he secured his place in Argyle history by securing promotion last weekend. They can go one step further by winning the league. Let's hear what he has to say.
Going into the game, we know what's at stake. If we go and play well and go and perform, and we get 3 points, then we win the league. So, there doesn't need to be any more motivation than that. I think going into the game as well, having already secured automatic promotion, probably gives everyone a little bit of relief. We're not going in there with the tension of losing everything on the last day. So the lads can go and play with freedom and express themselves, and that's what we'll be trying to encourage them to do. Yeah,
how has this week been? It must have been kind of sky high in terms of mood.
Yeah, it was. And obviously Saturday, Sunday was a brilliant weekend. We had a good party and everybody enjoyed the celebrations, which was what we deserved. And after that, it's been a lot going on, quite tiring, but I'm sure it's the same for Kieran as well. A lot of stuff going on. You've got to deal with a lot of noise all around what's happening, but once we got everybody sort of back in Wednesday and Thursday, we were focused then, and now we're going into Friday, game day, -2, and ready to work as usual.
Yeah, you mentioned like the kind of maybe the tension of the nerves of achieving a promotion are gone, but I can tell by the way you've spoken, even in the aftermath of Saturday, that eyes are still on this last game. You want to finish top of the table.
Yeah, because to say you're champions of League One would be an absolutely unbelievable achievement. So that's what we said to the players at the end of the game. Look, well done, let's all go and party, but let's go and win the league now and top it off. If we can come back to Plymouth at the weekend with a trophy and a winner's medal, then there'll be no greater feeling than that. So yeah, the job is done as regards to getting automatic, but the job isn't done as regards to win the league and be considered as one of the best teams to ever play in League One.
Mm-hmm. How big of an achievement would it be? Would it be that label?
I think so, because of the competition that we're up against. So like Sheffield Wednesday on 93 points and Ipswich, how good they've been on, could potentially get 100 points. They've been unbelievable, both of them teams, and if we could come out on top ahead of them, then we'll be remembered forever. So that will be the message to the lads, like, you've done unbelievable to get to the automatic promotion against all the odds. Go and top it off and get a winner's medal because you deserve it.
Yeah. To do that, you have to beat Port Vale, who secured their safety in the last game that they played. Yeah. What sort of game are you expecting for them? Because similarly, their tension is gone as well now, isn't it?
So I'm guessing, Big Cros will be saying to them, look, go and play with freedom and express yourselves, and you've got nothing to lose. Go and stop the party. That will be his message, I'm guessing. Because they're safe, and I think they've been really good, Port Vale, this season, for their first season in League One after getting promoted. I know there was a time in the season where it looked they wasn't playing well, and they sacked their manager, which was a bit of a surprise to me, but they're a good team. I've watched our game back when we played them last time. Obviously I was in the stand last time and we played them, and they were good. They were really well organised, and they scored from a set piece, which is one of their main threats. And then the second goal came from a counter-attack again, which is another huge threat that they've got when we only had 10 men on the pitch. So we know that we're going to be in for a tough game. Then we're not going to go there and let us do whatever we want and create our own party atmosphere. We're going to have to earn the 3 points to get them, and hopefully we can do that.
Yeah, it is an away game, and you mentioned the party atmosphere. There are 4,000 supporters making the journey up. It is obviously a bank holiday weekend, so there's the chance for that. Claimed promotion last weekend, huge party, but I mean, it's going to feel not quite like a home game, but there's going to be a lot of Argyle fans up there.
There is, yeah, and again we'll try and get that message across to the lads that there is 4,000 of them coming. Yeah, everyone's celebrated and everybody is delighted that we're going to be in the Championship next year, but there's 4,000 of our fans who deserve to see their team win the league, and if we can do our business and concentrate and perform to the levels that we can, then hopefully the party will continue.
Stephen Schumacher there. But just before we go into what he said, this is a great video, right? So this is Director of Football Neil Dewsnip with Shuey in the dressing room after last week's game. Have a look at this.
So just before Shuey speaks, he will speak, sing, I'm sure, whatever else is coming. Remember back in the GT, and I said, the only thing that'll up is us, okay? And I said, stand up if you've been promoted. Do you remember? And one or two of you stood up. Well, you can stand up now, can't you? Fucking well done. Well done.
I'm so proud of every single one of you, all the staff as well. It's been an unbelievable achievement. Everyone has written us off week in, week out. How many times have you seen it on them programmes? How many newspaper articles have you seen all the big boys? Well, we're one of the big boys, we're back. We're in the Championship where you belong. You've worked so for it, and now you're going to have the best summer of your lives. I'm so proud of you, man. Everyone here.
Incredible scenes there, weren't they, Brian? And just looking back to last week, just doesn't get any better than that, does it?
No, it doesn't, to be honest. I think the last 5 or 6 home games were full houses, probably more than that, to be honest. It's been spectacular, to be honest. It's been a joy to watch. Very jealous watching those scenes in that changing room. That's probably the bit you missed about football the most, the bit around the team spirit, the camaraderie, just all that, winning getting promoted, that type of stuff is just, it's dreams. It's just what a footballer really, that's what they strive to. That's why you want to be a professional footballer, to experience those types of days. But there's one more day to go, and to come back with a trophy, and then to do the bus tour tomorrow will be absolutely, it'll be amazing for the city, amazing for the Argyle fans as well. So yeah, fingers crossed.
The players rightly went out and enjoyed themselves, and the city was bouncing for days, wasn't it? It was great to see pictures of the fans celebrating with the players on the Barbican, especially. It was just incredible stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the staff, the club, the players, I think they really appreciate what the fans do for them, how they supported them. Argyle fans are immense. They travel all around the country. They get behind the team. They are that sort of 12th man in a sense. So yeah, it's I think they do really appreciate it, and I don't think that when you come to Plymouth, the city, and then you play for Argyle, you don't realise how big the club is. And they'll see that tomorrow when all the fans come out in their force again on the streets. So yeah, it's a brilliant club to play for, and yeah, hopefully these lads will get the trophy that they deserve this year.
And of course, now celebrations are over. The focus is now on winning the league. What kind of messages do you think Shuey would have been given to the players during the week to regain that focus to win the league?
I'm just thinking back to what Paul Stewart would have done. He would probably some sort of motivation around Ipswich are getting all the plaudits for all the goals they scored. Let's prove people wrong. Let's go win this trophy. Let's go and get it over the line type thing. So yeah, I think he'd be thinking like that. He talked about it in the change room there. He talked about everyone sort of doubted us, no one believed in us, that type of stuff. And I think he'll use that motivation to get them over the line. And for me, if you're top of the league, you deserve to be there. So Argyle are the best team. Absolutely.
And if Argyle win today, they will surpass the 100-point mark.
Yeah.
Now, only one other side has done that at this level, which is Fulham. So, I mean, that's an amazing achievement, amazing milestone. Should Argyle do that?
Yeah, you look at the standards of the teams in this division, and the budgets as well. Sheffield Wednesday's budget, it's way colossal above ours, really. So for us to sort of sustain that and And also, what's really impressive, last year we hit the 80 points mark and we didn't get in the playoffs. So to bounce back from that with a disappointment of that is just remarkable, to be honest. And yeah, I think the Argyle lads they've not overachieved because they're really good players, but to sort of stick through a whole season, because you do have ups and downs, I think it's been a fantastic achievement.
Well, again, it just shows the level of consistency, doesn't it, throughout the season, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, to win a league and to get promoted, you have to have unbelievable consistency, because you're going to have injuries, you're going to have teams that want to beat you, you're going to have, you're just going to have loads of challenges, obstacles that are going to get in your way, and you've just got to rise to those challenges. And what this team's really good is they're really robust. They can play a team off the park, but then they can match a team for endeavour. So, yeah, it's a really impressive, really good side, this Argyle side at the minute.
And should Argyle do it today, how big of an achievement would it be if you could put it into words?
Well, the championship, that's the highest level that this club's reached, and you never know where this club. This club deserves to be in the Premiership, so it's that building, that foundations where if they can get into the championship, which they are, and sort of consolidate in a sense, and sort of be a really good side in that division, you never know where this club could go, because the infrastructure's getting there now, and to have championship football here next season will be a brilliant spectacle.
Hi guys, you are watching Argyle TV, and as we've just mentioned, a win for Argyle will see them win the League One title. Now remember, if you've not got your match passes yet, head to pafc.co.uk and secure it for just £10. We've got more match build-up after this.
Can you pledge 35 hours for Project 35?
Pledge 35 hours for Project 35.
Pledge 35 hours for Project 35.
Now, with celebration comes reflection, and a lot has been made of the fact that 10 years ago, Argyle stayed in the Football League just by the skin of their teeth with that game at Rochdale. Now, of course, since then, we have seen a lot of improvements on and off the pitch, and a big part of that has been owner and chairman Simon Hallett. How did he feel last week after everything? Let's hear from him.
Scale of 1 to 10, better 12, I think, don't you?
At least.
And by the way, not just Saturday afternoon, but the celebrations afterwards were pretty epic as well.
They were. Take me back to the morning of that day. How were you feeling? What was going through your mind? What were you expecting, potentially?
Yeah. I was looking forward to the game, actually. I was excited. Everybody kept saying you must be nervous, you must be terrified, but no. I was actually excited. I thought it was going to be a great day. And then as I was thinking, how bad is it going to feel if we don't make it today? So the last 6 minutes, I was pretty nervous. I was very twitchy in my seat and yelling when we missed chances, and horrified when they almost had that chance in the last 5 minutes or so with a header from the edge of the 6-yard box. So I wasn't actually very nervous until the end of the game. And then, of course, it was just pure joy, pure exhilaration. I mean, it was me as a fan rather than thinking about what this implies for our longer-term strategy and so on. Pure joy.
It has obviously been a journey since you've come in. It's a word that gets bandied around a lot. But if you do go back to your first involvement with the club and where obviously it is now, and the feeling of, at this moment in time, the completion of that part of the journey.
Very much so, yeah. We set out, I became a shareholder, minority shareholder when James was still chairman. James, I think, had always said he was looking for somebody to take on Argyle and push it on a bit after he stepped down. So, James's ambition, his role in this is critical. He got exactly what he wanted. I did take it on. I think I've helped push it on a bit. But to me, this journey is one that has involved everyone, and that's what's been so fantastic. We've been on a bus full of people like you, people from our comms team, our fans, of course. The board has been fantastic. We've had support from Plymouth City Council. I know it's a bit of a cliche to say that this was a team effort, but I really do think that this is the result of us coming together as a club, with the community, with the fans, with all the stakeholders that you have in a good football club. So, fantastic journey. The goal was always promotion. We've obviously got the hope of winning the title as well, still to come. So I'm obviously very proud of what's happened at the club, everything that everybody has contributed. But I also feel a great sense of satisfaction that this was a journey that was well planned. We knew what our destination was. The board set down the strategy. We've engaged with the fans who were, of course, don't forget how supportive they were during COVID, how fantastic they've been in coming to the ground this season, how wonderful they've been in supporting, our retail shop, how good the support for Evergreen has been, and the support we've had from our sponsors. We've got a whole new list of sponsors this season to add to those who've been with us for a long time. So this really has been a coming together, and I feel not just pride but great satisfaction. It's gone the way we planned, and frankly that doesn't happen very often in life. Certainly not in football or in my day job investing. You're constantly being beset by those things that are after gang awry.
Were the scenes on Saturday some of the reason why you got involved with Argyle?
Yeah. I mean, I think I said to one of the first podcasts I did that this wasn't about financial investment. This was about emotion. I'm an Argyle fan, and I hope my wife doesn't see this, and I hope the mothers of my grandchildren don't see this, but I think that was the best day of my life.
It'd be up there with a lot of
It would certainly be up there. Thank you. Better put.
One of the best days of his life for sure. And Simon has changed so much around here, hasn't he?
Yeah, this club's unrecognisable, really, in the sense of the whole infrastructure I've mentioned is building, and the club's the whole setup, the whole sort of match day preparations, Argyle TV, all the different things that they've added to it for different income streams to try and get it right on the pitch. It's been fantastic. Community club as well, the year as well. So yeah, on and off the pitch, this club's in real safe hands at the moment, and this will be another challenge now. Get into the championship. How far do they go? Where does that go? The investment, those types of things. But I think the whole, all the staff at the club should be really proud. The playing staff and the staff behind the scenes. They've all played their part to get here, and also things like the academy as well. Players coming through the academy is brilliant to see. It all bodes well for the future, really.
It's a different feel around the place, isn't there? And it's all well and good having a vision, but how important is it to have the right people in the right places? Hiring the right managers and people in the backroom staff as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think the transition, obviously from Ryan Lowe going to Preston, with Neil Jusnup being here as director of football, the seamless transition of Shu coming up, and I think under Jusnup's sort of stewardship and expertise and guidance, that they've become a formidable team, and I think, for me, Schumacher's done a brilliant job. I've been really impressed by him. He's really level-headed. When things are going really well, he still keeps it, what can we do better? But then if things aren't going as well, he's probably maybe keeping a level head. He doesn't get too down, and I think that's a key to football, is just keeping a real balanced view on things. So I've been really impressed in his sort of first couple of years as a manager. He's done a cracking job, to be honest, and hopefully that'll continue.
It's funny because when Simon took over, his aim was to be in the Championship within 5 years. He's done it in 4, so technically he's ahead of schedule. But I mean, how impressive is that? I mean, all down to his great work in and around the place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's even more impressive when you look at the calibre of the teams that you're competing against to get there. So yeah, it's really impressive. You think of the COVID years as well, playing games here when there's no crowds. I was doing the commentary on a few of the games, and playing with no crowds is rubbish. It's not what a professional footballer wants. You don't, the crowd here give you that extra yard, that bit of edge to your game. So yeah, to do it in that time, sort of time span is pretty impressive, as you say, and very well deserved.
And of course, there's the Championship next season, a new chapter. Early days, of course, but how do you think they'll do next year?
I'm really intrigued to see how they do, to be honest. I think it's going to be tough. 100% it's going to be tough. There's some really, really top teams in that division. You look at the teams potentially coming down from the Premiership as well. So, yeah, it'll be tough. But, you know, the one thing is they'll be well prepared. Argyle will give it everything they've got. The players will be fit. The players will be well sort of rehearsed in how they want to play. And then also the crowd here will get them through it. You know, and you know, I think the key thing is the home form has to be good. You know, to get those home wins, and I think they'll be fine. I think maybe a good consolidation year in the championship, and then you have to then see where you go really.
Absolutely. Now listen, half an hour to go until kickoff at Vale Park, and up next we'll hear from Dan Scarr. Dan Scarr joined Argyle 2 years ago from Warsaw, and he's worked his way up from non-league all the way to the brink of becoming a League One champion. Let's hear from him.
Unbelievable. I still don't think it's properly sunk in yet. I don't know if it's because we've got a game to go and everything like that. I don't know, but it's a great feeling, especially like having all your family down and everything like that, and then obviously the celebrations after, and then even the celebrations with the fans and that, like, just unbelievable. Yeah, fuzzy head.
You mentioned there is another game to go. Yeah. Is it helpful that there is actually still a lot to play for, and it's not just a dead rubber of a weekend?
Yeah, I think you always, like, if you're playing, you want it to mean something. So you'd rather play, and it means something, and there is something big to play for. Like, it's a good accolade for everyone to have and the club to have. So yeah.
Yeah, what would it mean, do you think, to the boys to win this league?
I think we've had the League One and how strong it is now, and the teams that are in there and people's budgets and stuff like that. I think it's a big statement, really. So, likes of Ipswich and stuff like that, especially the run they've been going on lately, like, probably underlines how well we've done, really, to be on top and have a chance of winning the league.
On top of that, I'm going to chuck a stat at you, which is only one side has ever got 100 points or more twice.
Yeah.
In league seasons. Argyle have had it once, so we could become only the second side ever to do that, and obviously that would mean we win the league as well.
Yeah, it's a good start. Now it'd be brilliant to do, like, with the league how it is now, and the teams that are in there and some of the players that are in there that are championship players and stuff. It'd mean a lot for Argyle to go and do that, and for us to go and do it. I think we've been underlooked, like, the whole way through, really. Probably is not one of the big six and everything, and that's always been in the papers. I remember my mum shows me in the papers and she goes, "Oh, look, you don't get a mention as in as Argyle," and but we're up there and we're promoted, and it'd be nice to go and win it and shove it up them.
Exactly, and there will also be 4,000 fans up there as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
brilliant.
Mentioned it to the gaffer. It won't be a home game really, but it might feel a bit like a home game with the amount of Argyle fans.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose Port Vale haven't really got anything to play for. I suppose it's their last home game, so they're not going to roll over, are they? They're going to have a go. And but yeah, 4,000 to us to make the trip, and a 12 o'clock kick-off as well, and they're going to have to leave early. So no, massive appreciation for them to go and do it again.
So that was Dan Scarr there, and Brian, he's been a colossus, hasn't he, at the back?
Yeah, he's been magnificent. I think I mentioned at the start of the programme that, you know, since he's come in, you know, Gillespie as well, Galloway, Wilson, you know, that sort of infrastructure at the back was it's really fundamental, really, of where this club's gone the last couple of years. I think previous years we've had a lot of loan signings in key positions at the back, and it hasn't really helped in the sense of we needed that bit of experience, that bit of maybe tenacity, that bit of that will to win, and Scar's got that in abundance, to be honest. He's a winner, and he loves a battle, and he's been a top player for Argyle in the last couple of seasons.
You see a lot of Argyle's rivals, maybe big spending, but with Argyle I see a team, I see a lot of togetherness in there, and Scar was one of the players who's probably outperformed himself this season, haven't they?
Yeah, and you get that. If you get the right mix of a team, the right mix of individuals to come together. And I think, for me, you know, individuals don't make a team. You know, it's a team game, and if everyone does their jobs as a individual, as a collective, you'll be a force, really. And this team as obviously they're well rehearsed. They lots of, the way they want to play. They've adapted this year a little bit with 2 number 10s, so that's made other teams think. But then also the manager has been really pragmatic. He's been able to change formations, systems, personnel for certain games as well. So yeah, it's I guess the one word I'd say, we're not predictable. We can win games different ways now, which is maybe different from previous seasons, to be honest. So a lot goes down to the coaching staff and then also the players putting it into practice on the pitch.
He's one of a few players who are out of contract this summer. You've got Mayer, you've got Grant, Wilson, Ennis, Hardy and Houghton out of contract. How key would it be to not only retain those players, but the recruitment as well, to bring in some new, fresh blood?
I was looking at the list of players out of contract, and it's a big job in the next... I'm sure the work's already been done, conversations have already been had. Obviously, I think the club are going to announce next week what's maybe the retain list and different things. So yeah, it's a big job in hands, because recruitment now going into the next level is going to be really, really crucial. The loan market's going to be really crucial for us. So yeah, I think it's imperative that we keep these players, and hopefully, because they're the heart and soul of got us there. And I'm a big believer in if they've got us there, give them the opportunity to allow us to stay there, but adding to that as well. So yeah, big job in the hands of the gaffer and Neil Jewsnip and the board to try and get some good new players in as well, but also that continuity of the existing players with new contracts.
And of course, as we know, the Championship is a relentless league. Of course, that's League One, but going up that level as well. What positions do you think Argyle should be looking to strengthen in the summer?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I think probably you need 3 or 4 positions across the back, middle, and up front as well. It depends what happens with Mumba. Can we get him back on loan, or permanent Azaz as well? So I think the key thing in this division is probably scoring goals. So if for instance Hardy or Ennis didn't say, they went on to somewhere else, then a striker's probably imperative as well. So, but it all depends who we can keep, who stays, what happens. But I guess probably strength and depth across the defence, middle, and up front as well. That's a difficult question. Thankfully, I don't have to answer it, to be honest.
No, it's a tough one, of course. It's early days. But look, we're getting closer to kick-off, just 20 minutes to go. We'll get our final thoughts, and we'll go through the team news as well after this. So let's get a reminder of the team news then. The graph will come up very shortly. So again, we go through, we've got Callum Burton in goal, we've got Gillespie, Wilson and Scar at the back. We've got Jordan Houghton, Joe Edwards, Danny Mayer and Barley Mumba across the midfield, with Randall, of course, and you've got Wright and Niall Ennis up front. We went through the team earlier, Brian. Obviously, we talked about the changes with Houghton coming in. For those who may have missed that, what's the thinking behind that, and how important will his role be today?
Look, Butcher's not in the bench. He's obviously not in the squad. So maybe Butcher's got a little bit of an injury. But Houghton's been, virtually an ever-present this year. Him and Butcher have swapped, or him and Randall have swapped. So yeah, so Houghton's vastly experienced, top player. So I don't see any sort of issues with that, to be honest. It's probably the lineup I expected, to be honest. I think he's gone with the same team for the last sort of 3 games or so. So yeah, and I really like the 2 number 10. Like Mayer, for me, on his day is one of the best players in the division. And Wright's got a real eye for a goal, So he scored a real important goal, obviously away to Shrewsbury. But the last home game, he was getting on the end of things as well. So 2 number 10s are crucial. But like all across the park, they've all got their attributes. They're all really top players, and real strong lineup.
Fantastic. And as for Port Vale, we've spoken about Ellis Harrison is out today for them. Ellis Harrison's out, of course. But, we spoke about Port Vale's team earlier as the team comes up on the graphic there. But where will the game be won and lost today? We spoke about how to the midfield. We spoke about the wealth of attacking talent that Argyle do possess.
Yeah.
So where do you think we'll win the game today?
I think for me, it's all about what Argyle do. I think, if it depends what type of Port Vale you're going to come up against, isn't it? Their manager was talking, prior to the game that he wants them to match Argyle's endeavour and desire to try and get over the line. He wants to stop Argyle winning the league. So I think we've got to match them. And then I think, our ability, the individual players who've got that bit of spark, the Ennis, the Mayers who can get on the ball, make things happen. They're the ones who can go and win us the game, really. But for me, if Argyle can play anywhere near they can, I think, I'm fairly confident here. I don't want to be too cocky or get too ahead of myself, but I'm fairly confident of today.
Fantastic. And we've got Port Vale's team up here. They've got Stone in goal. We've got Donnelly, Smith, Mal Benning and Worrell across the back. We've got Conlon, Ojo, Plant. And up front, we've got former United striker James Wilson, Gavin Massey and Butterworth too. So we spoke about James Wilson earlier. Of course, he scored the goals that beat Argyle here earlier in the season. He's not scored since. He's got a point to prove, hasn't he?
Well, I hope not. Hopefully he's on the beach, as you maybe alluded to earlier. But he's obviously he scored 2 goals down here. They're one of 2 teams only to get a result down here. But as I say, I think Scar and the back 3 will be able to handle him. It's just around doing your individual jobs really, really well. They've got some experienced players. Condon, the captain, he's a local lad, to be honest, so he'll have that motivation playing for his local side. And Worrell, he's an experienced player as well. He's quite aggressive and tenacious as well. So they've got they're good pros, but they've obviously underperformed this year with obviously their manager leaving. And they've got an interim manager at the moment. But as I said, the pitch there is massive. Argyle have just got to make the pitch as big as possible. I think they do that really well with the wing backs, and if they can keep the ball moving really quickly, I think, as I say, I'm fairly confident.
And you mentioned how confident you are. Can you make any predictions about the scoreline today?
I'm going for 2-0 today. Yeah. So hopefully at halftime we'll be sitting here and we can sort of be sort of embracing some of the good action and some of the goals maybe. But I think 2-0 will be something that we could maybe take away. But fingers crossed. And
for any of the fans that can hear me, I think they're all very confident. It's all filling up here very nicely. I think they're all very confident for an Argyle victory today. Let's have a look at the other fixtures and the other games being played in League One. The graphics will come up. Of course, there is a big, obviously everyone will be looking at Ipswich, but we'll go through it now. So Barnsley against Peterborough United. We've got Bristol Rovers hosting Bolton Wanderers. We've got Burton Albion against Milton Keynes Dons. You've got Cambridge United against Forest Green, Cheltenham Town versus Charlton, Exeter City versus Morecambe. You've got Fleetwood versus Ipswich. Of course, if Argyle better their result, then they'll be champions. Lincoln City against Shrewsbury, Oxford against Accrington Stanley. Of course, Argyle at Port Vale. You've got Portsmouth host Wickham, and Sheffield Wednesday versus Derby County. Now, of course, the focus will be on Ipswich and Fleetwood today. How do you see that one going?
Obviously Ipswich are on, really, rich vein of form, aren't they? Scoring lots of goals, but they've obviously celebrated during the week. It depends, it's Fleetwood, nothing to play for either. So essentially, you never know how that will go. But look, I think that the key thing is Argyle just concentrating on their own job, really. And we know if we win, we've won the league, and that motivation to get there. I'm sure the players are desperate to get a trophy on their hands. Because as I said at the start, you very rarely get winning a medal in your career. And to win a trophy and to be a hero for this club would be a massive achievement.
And of course, the other things to focus on today are the playoffs and the relegation. Very tight at the bottom. And of course, for the playoffs, we were in the position last year, going into the final game, trying to get that playoff spot. So I think this is great. Of course, we're going for the league, but to not have that pressure of trying to get into the playoff spots.
Yeah, look, first and foremost, we've done our job. We've got promoted, so the pressure's off in that sense. But it'll just be that sort of I don't know, that desire, that individual, that will to go and get it over the line and get a trophy. And I'm sure the coaching staff will have, they've obviously had a few beers on Saturday night, but I'm sure they've had a few good training sessions to get that out of their systems, and they're ready to go today.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Brian. Right, that's us done for the pre-match build-up here on Argyle TV. I hope you're ready. We certainly are, as are the thousands of fans here at Home Park this morning. Now, remember, you can follow the action live on Argyle TV. And if you haven't got your match passes yet, head to the website, pafc.co.uk, and secure your match pass for just £10. Now, we head over to Home Park, former midfielder David Fox, and first, Charlie Price on commentary.
Milton Keynes all over, and here's Darling. He loves to come out from the back, and he's done enough to get it to Twine. Shoots edge of the box and has scored. It has gone 5-0, and that surely is it now. It's back to needing 4 goals again. And it's Argyle 0, Milton Keynes Dons 5.
Had an unbelievable season, and next year we'll get better. We've got to go and get some better players in and continue to improve and move forward as a club. We've had a massive improvement from where we were last year. If we have a little bit more of an improvement next year, then we'll be okay, but it won't be easy.
As in 25 yards from goal.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So fresh, just the way you
get there before cashing inside the penalty area. Cosgrove has scored! Can you believe it?
show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Can you pledge 35 hours for Project 35?
Pledge 35 hours for Project 35.
Pledge 35 hours for Project 35.
It's my workplace. My safe place.
I'm an ally.
A place to feel included.
It's
her game too.
For 90 minutes, we come together.
To cheer on our team.
It's a game I love and was born to play.
We are a family.
We are one Argyle.
It's her game too! It's her game too.
Pledge 35 for Project 35.
Pledge 35 hours for Project 35.
Pledge 35 hours for Project 35.
Please can you pledge 35 hours for Project 35?
Into Hardy! On the edge of the area, gets it onto his left foot, Mumba! Welcome to Vale Park, a packed out Vale Park actually, grey skies, but it's mild temperatures, and we are just minutes away from Argyle's final game of this extraordinary season. Sky Bet League One has been one to remember in 22-23. Promotion already secured, one thing left to settle, and that is the league title. Last weekend's victory over Burton Albion, which sent Plymouth potty, is still very much in the front of people's minds. But boy, would we like to win this league. It's been a titanic battle between ourselves, Argyle, Ipswich Town, Sheffield Wednesday and Barnsley. That 4 was whittled down to 2 last weekend, and it's a straight shootout between the Greens and the Blues to see who will be crowned Sky Bet League One champions. Argyle know a victory would do it. Anything better than Ipswich's result at Fleetwood would also do it. And the 4,000 travelling fans who are away to my left behind one of the goals in the Hamel Road stand here at Vale Park are expecting just that. They will go crazy like we saw Home Park do 7-8 days ago now. Former Argyle midfielder and promotion winner himself, David Fox, is with us. It's so loud inside Vale Park, Foxy, isn't it? But this is a big moment. This is a big game. This is a big occasion. Promotion sealed, but there's that little carrot of the title still there.
There is, and there'll be a real determination to do that. I think, look, obviously the aim at the start of the season is to get promoted, to get out of the league. That has been achieved, but to be in the position they're in now, 90 minutes away from winning a title, I think, yeah, it's just massive. As you say, the place is bouncing. It's been like being in a rock concert for the last half an hour. It's been so loud in here. But there's that real expectation. So, look, hopefully they can do it, get over the line. Big 90 minutes to come.
Well, here come the two teams marching out onto the pitch. To Robbie Williams, of course, a Port Vale fan. But after 13 long years, we already know that Championship football will be played at Argyle next season. The journey, which has taken us to lows of Rochdale and almost out of existence, highs of Peter Hartley's header at Home Park and the heartbreak of Wembley defeats. It's all been gearing up to this special moment. With that promotion already secured, the Championship now on the line. As this is a coronation weekend, yesterday's crowning of King Charles